Welcome to Isis in the Bible, the summer gathering, week 5, flying high. The question for today is, do we really have wings? Do we get signs about gaining or losing our wings? The story of Icarus flying too close to the sun and burns his wings comes crashing down. You know that story. How can we ensure that we regrow our wings to levels we don't remember? Glad you could join us today. Let's start off with a little bit of humor with how intelligent and guiding our fine-feathered, soulful friends are. Here are some magpies that are faking injuries because the grocery store manager fed an injured one. Are they showing how smart they are, or are they providing guidance to the grocery store manager? Here we go. Check this out. This is hilarious. How cute is that? All right, what's happening in the sky? There's a whole lot of law happening right now. And I mean, a lot of people can attest to that because I know some of you have been in meetings about law and how we're going to reestablish the true law and not the statutes, codes, and regulations that control people. Right now, as we speak today, Jupiter is aligned with Mars, and Jupiter is law. It's the most expansive planet out there, right? Which is a light. And its law means spiritual law. And Mars, which represents fiery change, is aligned with Jupiter, and that's in Taurus. Mars leaves Taurus on August 26th, but Jupiter will stay in Taurus for quite a long time, and it'll go retrograde and along with Uranus, because Uranus is going to be going back in retrograde and back into Aries and back into Taurus. And again, this is the bull, right? This is the bull. The bull wants to make change, the bull in a china shop. This is the feminine's home, Juno's home, the woman that wants to make change, bring back the love, bring back that loving feeling. I just want to show you the tarot. I want people to understand that the Justice card is Jupiter. Twice yesterday, as I was doing some of these slides, I pulled cards, and both times, both with the cards and on online, the Justice card pulled. So it's pretty coincidental. So the Justice card is Mayat. Mayat is the feather, right? Your heart as light as a feather, your wings. That's the 42 spiritual laws. And of course, it's related to the weighing of the heart ceremony. And then Mars is Mantu on the Egyptian walls, which represents fire, the solar fire, and it represents strength. Somebody asked what these numbers mean. This is how long it takes for these planets to go once around the zodiac. So 1.8 years for Mars, 11.9. That's approximate because there are retrograde cycles. So not only is Mars and Jupiter aligned, but they're also aligned with star Rigel. The star Rigel is the foot And when you said the cat was at your feet, so that's why I kind of chuckled, Judy. So Rigel is the bright blue star on the bottom of the foot, and it represents the crook and the flail. It represents protection. Rigel has been perceived as a powerful and significant star across many cultures, often symbolizing strength, protection, and transformation. It's blue shifted and it's stepping on the snake, the truth. Remember, it is you that holds your own destiny, represented by the self-harvesting tool, the crook and the flails. When you see Awyan on the Egyptian walls, he's holding the crook and the flail, which is your own self-harvesting tools, because you are the only one that judges yourself. Nobody else does. And then also, there's another special event that needs to be mentioned that's surrounding the actual upcoming Lionsgate on August the 22nd. Remember, August 8th is not what's actually happening in the sky. The actual alignment happens like August 16th, the sun moves into Leo in the sky and then aligns with star Regulus on the 22nd. There's going to be a lot of fire because Leo is a fire sign. It's hot, just like the deserts in Africa, because Leo represents the lion, which is in Africa. This constellation lines up with the lands of Africa. So you have the fire of the sun, the fire of Leo, Regulus, and Vesta, the fire of Vesta. So that's going to be a pretty interesting day. But also along with that is the Perseid meteor shower. It's not a coincidence that on the true Lion's Gate, around the 22nd, it's near its peak. The peak is around mid-August. So you can see, is this really related? Well, it happens every year. And we showed you that the other meteor shower in November, that one's also aligned on the Dendera zodiac. So the more proof of what happens in the sky is more important than what is written in the past on a piece of paper. We got to watch what's happening in the sky. So the Perseid meteor shower typically lasts from mid-July to late August. The peak of the shower, when you can see the most meteors, usually occurs around mid-August. During this peak, you might see 60 to 100 meteors per hour under ideal conditions, so about one a minute, especially in areas where there's no light pollution. However, the showers continues at a lesser intensity both before and after the peak period. So again, is this related? Of course it is. So if you want to determine the truth about something, ask AI for the most debated items surrounding the spiritual/metaphysical interpretations of these type events. These aren't meteors. These are beautiful lights that are happening for a reason. So you will get the truth. Here are some key points on what the ancients have said about the shooting star showers. So I'll just read these little magenta ones, but I wanted to focus on these other ones. So it represents a change, transformation, and renewal, these showers. It's around the zodiac sign Leo, which is compassionate bravery. Is there a connection to past lives, is what many people of the ancients have said. Some believe that Perseid meteor shower may be connected to past life communication or signs. I 100% believe this. It's also purification and spiritual healing. A link to historical and mythological events. The Perseid meteor shower is linked to mythological stories, such as the myth of Perseus. We'll talk about that in a second. Help manifestations needs, and consciousness and spiritual awareness. That's what all the different things. So I asked her, what's the most debated texts stating around those showers? Because it's not just some random thing that many people think they are. Well, here's what the etymology of Perseid comes from. The word Perseid comes from the Greek word Perseides, which means descendants of Perseus, or related to Perseus. In ancient Greek, the suffix "ides" is often used to indicate descendants. So here we go. We have this beautiful event. Perseus sits on top of Taurus. So we have this beautiful alignment with Law happening, and Jupiter with Uranus there, which holds up other people's worlds in Taurus. And that's what's happening. Many people are holding up other people's worlds, especially with Law, setting off people's mortgages and their debts, because it should be that way, because we're in the age of Aquarius, which is the forgiveness of debts, forgiveness of karmic waves. I see this as a reminder of the connection with the four royal stars and what is being amplified. Because there's so much going on in the stars that aren't random. They happen every year for a reason. They happen forever. So it's all about your wings coming to save you. Pegasus, the story of Perseus, rides upon the wings of the winged horse Pegasus, right? Well, where's Pegasus? Pegasus sits over top of Aquarius. And Aquarius, which is forgiveness. And then at that time, during this meteor shower, which Perseus, which rides on the horse, his wings, right, is across to Leo. So on this side of the zodiac is Aquarius, which is forgiveness, and the heart is on this side. So your heart is aligned with forgiveness. You get your wings. Your wings soar when that happens. Because you can see Fomalhaut, Royal Star, Aquarius, and then Pegasus. Pegasus is on top of Aquarius. Forgiveness is key. Your heart being centered and forgiveness is key to get your wings. So I hope you're picking up what I'm laying down. Your wings are forgiveness and the love of Leo, compassionate bravery. And this is really important that you need to understand and align with this August 16th when we go into the month of Leo. Because our months in the calendars are just, they're not lined up properly. We need to follow the months, the moons, the months of the stars. So the constellation Leo's Lion Gate aligns with the Perseid shooting star shower. Leo is the heart and is across from Aquarius, which is forgiveness, and Pegasus, your wings, is above Aquarius. You get your wings when you know how to forgive. It's really important. And many people are experiencing things and it goes away as soon as they do the forgiveness process. What we're about to show you now, again, you are the one who manifests your journey, no one else. You are infinite, but your labyrinth choices as they relate to your heart, as light as a feather, need to keep climbing the ladder inward to the pure love point. The game has changed and free will has tightened up, and your wings depend on your heart and forgiveness. So I want to show you a plane crash that occurred in Brazil on August 9th. Not sure if you heard of it, this year, near the town of Vinhedo in São Paulo state, where 61 people on board all left the visible. The plane was en route from Cascavel to São Paulo Guarulhos International Airport, where it entered a flat spin and plummeted into a residential area, affecting no one on the ground. The plane's black box has been recovered, and a full report is expected in 30 days. So here's a little video. There's no sound to this, but you're seeing it was just falling, free falling from the sky in a tailspin. And hit the ground and exploded. So those people left the visible, but they are infinite. So this is a sign. It's interesting to note that there were 8 doctors on board amongst other medical professionals. There were 7 others that changed flights at the last minute. So what does that mean? Well, it's a sign, right? They're infinite. They left the visible, but they're infinite. So while they analyze man's black box, let's look at the true black box in the sky at this exact moment. So exactly at the time of the crash, this is a snapshot of the chart. We've showed you other plane crashes before. Look at Icarus, exactly aligned with Antares, the royal star in Scorpio. Scorpio is what? Scorpio is when we have materialistic desires, right? And Lilith is going through Scorpio, which is right across from the other royal star, Aldebaran, in Taurus. Venus was exactly aligned with the midheaven in the heart. This is taking care of all beings. And that was exactly across from Dene Badij. And Dene Badij is the tail of the swan steering the Milky Way. Cygnus, another sign of wings. Going to take a look at what other aspects in the sky and the stars. There's so much going on. Look at Markab. Markab is the point that attaches the wings to the horse. And both Hygeia and Vesta are in alignment with Pegasus's point where the wings attach to the horse. So obviously those wings weren't working, were they? Mother Mary aligned with Aldebaran, Royal Star. And we got all 4 Royal Stars because Antares and Aldebaran for Icarus. And then the moon was aligned with Regulus. And Regulus is what? That's the Royal Star in Leo, where the Lion's Gate's going to be. The moon's on Rosselhaug, the snake splitting the head from eating its tail. So there's a whole lot going on, and there's where, to grip the truth, Ceres, the harvester, self-harvest. So all these people, law of attraction brought them together so that they can all leave the visible at the same time. And this is where I show you that the tarot card is the Fool. The Fool is new wings, keep them sacred. And that's Icarus, the Bennu bird. And that would be Icarus. And this is the card that I pulled twice. So what's the message here? Oh, one more thing. As I'm doing this slide, you can see this guy. He was doing a dance showing his wing. This little type of a bee. I'm not sure what kind of bee it is. But he was flopping his wings and walking on the window. So I tried to get a little video of him, but it was too blurry. They're communicating with us. So even the people that left the visible are communicating with us. So what's the story? What's the message? Everybody's got to come to the truth. These doctors were all going to oncology, cancer. They're trying to help people learn about cancer, but they don't understand cancer. When you leave the visible, it's in your chart. The physicians of the past would know and use astrology so we can show people what they need to do. And the biggest thing we need to do is stay heart-centered and forgive each other. That's the bottom line. And not follow mainstream science, which has no basis in reality. I'm not judging, but we need to get back to the truth because this is part of the truth. We leave when it's time to leave, but it's our own individual labyrinth. You will always be safe if you're heart-centered and if you've done your forgiveness process with everybody that you need to. And I'm telling you that a lot of people are reaching out, and once they do that forgiveness process, everything starts to clear for them. That's really important. So yes, flying is still the safest way to travel. You can't think that I'm not going to be safe. The only way you'll not be safe is if you're not going to stay heart-centered and if you're not clearing your karmic waves, which is forgiveness. It truly is about keeping your wings attached. If you see a shooting star, aka what they call a meteor, a light that forms and leaves, it's reminding yourself that we are infinite. The yearly showers of light are permanently showing us this truth. Why does it happen every year around the same time? Because it's astrological, it's metaphysical, it's part of our whole beautiful journey. This is the magic we are now once again remembering. So join us in living in peace and harmony. We build everything, and all we have to do is share unconditionally with forgiveness and love. The world is transforming, it's happening, and we are all starting to share everything. Just a reminder, we got a beautiful sign in the sky from those doctors and those that left the visible on that plane. They are helping us in a different way, not through going through conferences and meeting together about what they can do about cancer when they don't understand it. They left us a message that is showing us that everything that happens is happening in the stars based on our own labyrinth of choices. And that's all we have for today.